My dad often said to me that you need to figure out what the game you're actually playing is and learn what the rules are. He said this in relation to work, and that your job description might be one thing, but you need to figure out what people care about. When it comes to right wing influencers, often we don't understand them very well because we don't understand what more conservative or right wing audiences really care about. A great deal of right wing influencers had failed careers in entertainment, largely because they lacked the skill, talent, or luck necessary in order for them to succeed. But then later they figured out how to generate a lot of attention for themselves, and one of the things that they did was by saying controversial things. A lot of conservative and right wing audiences really like that because it feels cathartic. They like to see people speak up to those in power, and they consider most academics, liberals, and leftists and progressives to be those people in power. This is tied into the Christian persecution complex, where Christians will believe that they are a minority in a Christian majority country. But it also ties to how, when you're a teenage boy, you typically gravitate towards these types of people because you have to break down your childhood mentality of the world, and then you have to form a basic understanding of the world as a young adult, which is very intimidating because you realize how big the world is and how challenging it will be in the future. The best book that describes this mentality, in my opinion, is The Catcher in the Rye. Because when you're a teenage boy, there's a lot of confusion. You start to wonder, like, okay, what does everything actually mean? What am I actually feeling right now? Nothing makes sense. There's a lot of anger and frustration. There's a lot of insecurity, like feeling insignificant or like you need to prove yourself. And a lot of right wing influencers know how to tap into that because it feels satisfying to see someone say exactly whatever they want to say to someone that they might look down upon. So the name of the game is attention. And the reason why these right-wing influencers are so popular is because their audiences believe that they display strength by being able to say whatever they want. When in reality, being controversial is not that difficult. You can easily get a lot of people's attention and say a lot of horrible things and get people to notice. That's not that significant, but these people don't feel seen. They don't feel significant. They don't feel powerful. They feel limited. They feel like they can't say anything in a politically correct world. So because of that, they gravitate towards people who can speak their mind. It could also be seen as a natural development if these people are failed entertainers, in that they are trying to perform to an audience to gain relevancy. However, if they are losing relevancy, they become more desperate, so they resort to more and more controversial means. The same thing happened with prank channels on YouTube. They started doing pranks, however, they needed to up the ante or they would lose relevancy. And some people became extremely unscrupulous with the types of pranks that they were pulling on people, to the point of where they received jail time. Essentially, you have people who have an entitlement of attention. They believe they are owed more attention than they actually are. And because of this, when other people are given attention that they're owed, they feel like they're being neglected. And because they feel like they're being neglected, they turn to people who are able to give them that sense of catharsis, people who are able to draw attention to them saying whatever they want. And it makes them feel special, powerful, or validated. It doesn't necessarily matter what the person is saying, even if it's controversial. It just feels good that they are drawing a reaction from other people who are emotional about what they said because it makes them feel like they are the center of attention again, something that they believe that they are entitled to, when in reality, nobody is entitled to being the center of attention.